Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been quite a while since I last posted a video, and I think the next few videos that I will be posting will just be flip throughs of completed journals, because even though I've been quiet on social and here on my channel, I actually have been journaling quite a bit, and so I have a couple of completed journals to share. And this first one is my Bloom journal. This is my Get Messy Season of Bloom journal. So the Season of Bloom was way back in, I think, 2019. I started it 2020 here, so it was that long ago. I think it was longer though, like whatever. But if I wrote that there, then that's when I started the journal. I did make this journal a long time ago. Maybe that's what I'm confusing. I probably made this in 2019. This is an Artist in Bloom journal. So I took Nazi from Amity Bloom. I took her course, and this is the first journal that I made from her course. And I made it exactly like she makes it in the class. And so the other journals, which I believe I shared, like one of my unraveling journals and another one of my journals, is in the same style. Like I used the same techniques that she shares in the class, but I changed it. I changed it up to suit like what I wanted. So a lot of the sections, like this whole extra journal section, is not there in those journals, but this one I made exactly to how she shared. I believe I have a video showing this journal like after I made it, so it's not filled in yet, but I did end up using this for my Get Messy Season of Bloom, and I've just deemed it complete. I have been working in this obviously for the past 2 years, and I really wanted to fill up most of the pages in the back. There's some that are still blank and are still empty and stuff like that, but honestly, I think right now I feel like it is finished. And so I just kind of wanted to show you a flip through of it. This is the cover. And this is just some wallpaper, some embossed paper. There's a little bit of modeling paste here, but you can't really see it. I have a clip. And then I have this, which is just sort of like my introduction. And I have to put in, normally I put in the date when I finished it, but I actually don't remember when I deemed it complete. It's just been sitting on my desk for months now. And so, maybe I'll just put the year 2022. There's a belly band with a tag, and there's just a quote and like a little, so this is the Season of Bloom. I will explore growth through my art and hopefully through my words too. And so the theme of this journal is bloom. And so I went with, I think I did follow a few of the prompts from Get Messy, but I just kind of went with the theme of it being bloom, being flowers, being nature, being growth, like those are the things that I think of when I think of bloom, flourishing and stuff like that. And so I just kind of kept with the theme of that. And I think I had previously started this journal like as a sort of a regular, like everyday sort of journal, and I didn't keep up with it. And so I actually repurposed it for my Season of Bloom, but some things that I kept. And so this was something that I kept in here, which was just me saying that I made this journal using a lot of old papers that Kaylee sent me. And so this little tag here is like her beautiful handwriting that has my name on it. And so I kind of just left that in here. And then these things, I think something else was written on these pages, and I just kind of cover them up. This is sort of like my not my introduction page, my stats page. I always do some sort of stats page. This one doesn't have a photo of me, but it just has this to represent me. But I always have my name, my age, and like what I'm feeling at the moment. And so there I just put worthy, and then a quote here. It says, "Bloom like a flower and unravel your own beauty." I think I took that from my One Little Word unraveling journal, because bloom was my word for, oh my goodness, but when it was with my word, I feel like it was my word for 2019 was bloom. And so I took a lot of quotes from, or things that I've written in quotes and stuff like that from that journal to include into this one, since it is the Season of Bloom. And so that's like the little cover portion of the journal. And then the journal has a completely separate little journal over here because that is how it is constructed. And this is just a vellum pocket that I just kind of put this here. It's a photo of scrapbooking. It says, "You are beautiful." And then I have a quote here. And again, all of my quotes, everything that I put in here kind of goes with the theme. And so this one says, "If you feel lost, disappointed, hesitant, or weak, return to yourself, to who you are, here and now. And when you get there, you will discover yourself, like a lotus flower in full bloom, even in a muddy pond, beautiful and strong." I love creating little kind of sentiments with like word phrase stickers, some fabric here. I love this. There was a Japanese diary that had these little cut apart happiness notes. So this one is happiness note. "If you look carefully, you'll see something beautiful every day." Another quote here. "Maybe the journey isn't about becoming anything. Maybe it's about unbecoming everything that isn't really you, so you can be who you were meant to be." So a lot for me, a lot of what bloom is, I know when I had it as my word, a lot of it was about sort of growing, and it was a lot of growth and like unbecoming things and kind of seeding, or just not planting the seed, but sort of nourishing the seed so that it can grow and it can flourish. And then the year after that, my word was flourish. And so a lot of what I think bloom is about growing and learning and discovering and becoming yourself, but also kind of stripping away things that are no longer a part of you. And so I guess pruning the flower, and the flower is sort of the symbol of it. It's like, I don't think it's a metaphor. I think it's the symbol of blooming and becoming and stuff like that, which is interesting because I started working on this again. I picked it up again around like maybe March or April of this year. And my word for this year is becoming, and I've been having a terrible year. Like, just the first 6 months of this year, I've just been so sad, so sad and really, really down. And it's for personal things that maybe one day I'll talk about here. But yeah, and so I've kind of been in that place, I guess you can say, where I've just kind of, I guess, fallen into myself a little bit, which is why I haven't been sharing or making much of anything for my channels and stuff. I've just been doing this practice that I love so much for myself, but I really have no motivation to really create. So like, I'm going to share some of these journals in the next few videos, but a lot of these little A6 journals that I've been keeping, a lot of it has been heavily just journaling, just writing words down, because that is how I've been able to process everything. And yeah, just I have days where I'm good, like today, because I am filming this, where I am like motivated to kind of come on and share things because I have piles of journals that I have been meaning to share. And it's just, I have no motivation to turn on the camera and do it. And that's just sort of where I've been. And so my word for this year is becoming, or it's supposed to be becoming. And I'm doing one little word. I'm doing Ali Edwards' class, one little word, and I don't know. It's almost like I've stalled in becoming me, and I've realized a few things now, uh, but it was very interesting to go back into this journal like 2 years later and realize that a lot of those themes that I'm kind of working through now with myself, were present then, right? And so yeah, I think this is what I kind of talk about a little bit. I journal here a little bit about me and like my whole unraveling process, because a lot of the word, kind of it aided me in my unraveling process in 2019. And so this journal is really special. Like, out of all of my Get Messy journals, this one is probably my favorite because it's so personal like that. And I also just had a lot of fun, and it's like this is a very different type of art journal for me. It's more because I was like inspired by Nazi and her class, and it's more kind of junk journal-y, even though I try to do my whole mixed media stuff in it. And so this is the main bulk of the journal here. And a lot of it is collaging, a lot of it's layering. This is probably one of my favorites. It is just, I painted this sort of like abstract field of flowers. And this says, be a summery wildflower. And I have a couple of, you know, these found poetries. Love this. This is probably one of my favorite things to do in my art journals is found poetry. It's basically a whiteout poem. I just call them found poetry because you're taking other people's words, you know, you're finding words and like stringing them together to create a new poem. And so this one's from a Shakespeare sonnet book. The beginning of this journal has a lot of collaging and like just layering things on top. Another happiness note, the nicest things can happen when you let go. A lot of this. So my one little word for this year, I normally pick my word, like my main word. So my main word is becoming, and then I pick supporting words. And so for bloom, I know like I had like create, I had inspire, I had like different supporting words. And this year, one of my supporting words, well, a couple of my supporting words for becoming, I actually don't remember. I know joy is one of them. I know change and letting go. But that idea of letting go, in order to bloom, you have to let go. That's something that I've been struggling with a lot lately, is the idea of embracing change when you don't want to embrace it and just letting go. And maybe that is why I've been feeling a little bit stuck, because I'm holding on to things that I probably should just let go of. And that's hard. And I just find it very interesting that those things were here. Growth is a series of push and pull, of holding on and letting go. I wrote that. You know, so it's like it was very interesting to go back into this journal and like see all the ways in which I guess wisdom, you know, past self, like past me was talking to me now. So it's been a real joy to just come back in here and be gentle with yourself. Again, a lot of these little collages, a lot of lace and whimsy stickers, more lace and whimsy stickers here. Spread your wings, go your own way, live. Another happiness note, if you dare to wander, you'll find new paths. You know, so bloom is all about discovering. It's all about growth. It's all about learning. It's about discovering things about yourself. It's about planting the seed and watering it and nurturing it. And ultimately, it's about letting go. And I'm learning that about myself here, just kind of looking through my journal. That took me a couple of years to work on. I wander not because I'm lost, but because I'm curious to find new pathways, to learn and to grow. There are countless ways to bloom. Just these little notes to self that I kind of left myself, or like these little, these are the Tim Holtz stickers, and I like to make like little phrases and little quotes and stuff from them, so I just kind of mix and match. A very wonderful place, a memory to hold, to be preserved, a moment of happiness. These are just cut aparts from Daphne's Diary magazines, and then of course I just did journaling, and I'm not going to read this journaling. I'm pretty sure this has to do, it's probably on theme, on brand here for this journal. Some modeling paste here, more collages, a lot of like fabric elements, and of course that was just things that I did in the journal when I was going to use it sort of like as an everyday junk journal. Head over heels, some more magazine cutouts. This is that beginning scene of it's like the beginning excerpt of Romeo and Juliet here. Some lace and whimsy stickers. Love how I smear the paint here. So yeah, a lot of this is paint, a lot of it's collage. I did use a lot of my favorite paints here. Love like pulling things out of books, like, and then just combining them to make some sort of quote. Love this beautiful paper. These vintage papers that Kaylee sent me from Germany. They're gorgeous. This is one of the newer ones that I made, and I believe I made this in May because I was inspired to journal again, like kind of mixed media art journal type thing, by Messy May. So Get Messy did a whole like free Messy May thing on Instagram. And so I was like watching all the prompts and stuff, but not actually replicating them, but doing my own thing. So they just kind of like a jumping off point. And I believe this is one of the pages that I completed, this one too. Lots of scribbles and ink and paint. And I love making these little marks with the Caran d'Ache Neocolor crayons. She is a flower, but also the sun that let her bloom. It's from Nazi. It's from an Amity Bloom printable. And this is like a page that's blank. This was a pocket for something, because you know in journals you make these beautiful pockets. Now this is a piece of fabric, but I just kind of left it as is. It's okay. It's really okay. Just to leave things as they are, you know. Hello, beautiful. Again, hello, lovely, stay brilliant. Don't ever forget learning and exploring and making all kinds of mistakes is all part of the process to growing and finding your true self. So be kind to yourself, give yourself permission and a little bit of grace. Don't deny the process. That's what blooming is to me. And I think this page is a little bit off brand for the journal right now because it's more of like a currently. This is an old currently. Like I'm pretty sure this is when I first started filling it out back in 2020. So summer days, a field of flowers, life in the woods with no people around, quiet times. I think, oh, currently hoping for right now. This is things I was hoping for to do what I want when I want, i.e. sleep. Being my own boss, a peaceful life, less worry and stress, more happiness. Just layering papers. This is another newer spread that I did from watching Messy May, and I really, like, these are not my colors at all that I would normally do, but I love how this turned out. Some more collaging and mixed media. Listen to your heart, spread your wings, reach for the stars. Again, these are just stickers, you know, individual stickers that I kind of put together to make a statement. And then these pages are pretty much like leftovers. I did have a collage tag here that says, "You were born of the stars, dear girl. Stop settling for dust they leave behind." And I just have it in this little vellum pocket. And again, just some pages are like embellished and collage and ready to go. It's just I never got to do anything on them. And honestly, it's towards the end and I feel like this journal is kind of finished. This is a little fabric swatch. These are some of my favorite fabrics. This is a pocket, but it has nothing in it. And yeah, that is my Bloom journal, aka my Get Messy Season of Bloom, aka my Artist in Bloom journal, my first one. And I am happy to report that it is finally finished after 2 years and I can finally just put it on my shelf to look back on. But yeah, this is a really special journal. Like, it's just maybe finding it again during this time. You know, it's funny how life works like that, like the timing of things. It's been really nice. It's been a joy, and I just kind of wanted to come on and share it with you all. And so I really hope you enjoyed this little peek at my journal. Thank you so much, always for being here, even when I don't show up. You know, you're always here. I always get comments, and they're wonderful and lovely, and I absolutely suck at responding them, especially when I feel like I feel now. I kind of, I don't want to say shut down, but I do shut down and I kind of just distance from like everything and everyone. And I just really appreciate seeing comments trickle in, just, you know, quite randomly. And I do read them all, I do acknowledge them. It's just I kind of suck at responding. So I just want to say thank you to everyone and anyone who's ever left me a sweet comment. I really do appreciate that, and I appreciate you. And so, yes, friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you again so much for watching and being here, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye.